Show host Israel Picasso. We tuning live from St. Louis, Missouri. Today's guest is we got the Bay Area on here. We got Primo, man, legendary artist, man. Tap in, man. Let them know where you from, man, and how you putting it down.
What's happening, man? I'm Primo from Hunters Point, Frisco. We just put out a new album, The Chronicles, long time coming. You know what I'm saying? I got some hot features on there, like Keek Sneak. I got a Black C from RBL Posse. I got
Yeah,
California Broham and, a lot of few others. A lot of other cats on there that's spitting that flame, man. You know what I mean?
for sure, for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah, shout out People Sneak, man. Shout out Black C, man. Legendary artist as well. Show.
yeah.
With that being said, man, when did you fall in love with hip hop?
Man, years ago since I was a kid, man, when Run DMC was popping. When Rakim, Rakim was my favorite rapper back in the day. KRS One, all them guys like that. That's when I fell in love. Houdini. So I go way back. You know what I mean?
For sure, for sure. Now, as far as the Bay Area, man, for someone who never been to California, what is it like for an out of towner looking in?
Well, in today's time, it's a different time. Because these youngsters out there bipping. So it ain't safe when you coming out of town and you're leaving your car, your tours, and you leaving stuff in your car. These youngsters come up and yeah, shatter your window, go up in there and take all your shit. You know what I mean? As far as the streets was kind of for a minute, crowded with a lot of homeless people. Um, so it got real bad. You know what I mean? It ain't like it used to be back in the days when I was coming up. We was hustlers. We get out there and grind for it. Nowadays they gonna take it from you. You know what I mean? They want to take it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a different game out there right now.
Yeah,
You gotta adjust though. You gotta be prepared for it because I come from the streets and I've been raised with the wolves. You know what I mean? I
yeah,
was raised with the wolves and the king and the lions. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So I know both parts of the game. So I know how to carry myself in the streets when it comes down to shit like that. You know what I mean?
for sure, for sure. Now, how was it for you growing up though in the Bay Area? What type of things did you experience as a child?
Well, I experienced a lot of things, man. Show ain't long enough for me to tell you, but I can tell you a few.
Yeah,
Coming up in the game, I was a street hustler, man. I was out there grinding, getting to the bag. You know what I'm saying? Flipping whips. Um, and I don't condone that lifestyle, but I was out there getting to the bag. You know what I mean? Uh,
yeah,
driving the finest cars, Benzes. Back in the days, we used to love them Cadillacs. So I had one of the cleanest Cadillacs when I was 17 years old. You know what I mean? Had the shoes and Vogues and fifth wheel and the Cadillac grill. You know what I mean? Um,
yeah.
I had Phantom top and it was laid out. You know what I'm saying? Everything I had was clean. I had a Benz. It was on them on rims and Vogues. We had Vogues on them Benzes back then.
Yeah, yeah,
I wasn't but
for sure.
17, 18 though. You know what I'm saying? I wanted the cleanest rags in the city. Back in them days. You know what I mean? Um, I used to be a youngster. Had about 10 cars. You know what I'm saying? Um, but yeah, coming up, I was out there in the streets hustling, man, and just getting to the bag. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like I said, I ran with the wolves, and I got paper with the lions. You know what I mean? With the king of the jungle. You know what I mean?
for sure. Now, how did you get involved in the dope game? You say you was hustling. At
Well,
it, like
yeah. I used to watch these guys. I used to watch my peers, the older generation out there. Now, don't get me wrong. I wanted to be a guy who was out there getting a job. I went for it. You know what I'm saying? I went for it to go get a job and all this stuff, but it just seemed like back in them days it wasn't paying, uh, uh, they wasn't hiring. Certain things that I would go through to discourage me from going that route. So I learned to hustle. You know what I'm saying? I just started hustling. From a kid, I was scalping tickets, helping old ladies with their groceries. Going out to the airport, uh, helping people with their bags, put them in the cars. Um, I would just do little side hustles, man, and it was able to accumulate some money to you know, just give me some food, you know what I mean, and live comfortable at the time,
Yeah.
until
Now
I,
did you have
and then I went into that other hustle, you know what I mean?
yeah, yeah,
So yeah.
for sure. Now, as far as that other hustle, like what was it? Can you like explain like for as like the crack area at that time, like taking over the neighborhoods, like was it like rough like everybody was saying it? Because I remember hearing Yuckmouth was speaking about some things, in the Bay Area and how it took place. Like it was real rough out there like that.
Yeah, unfortunately, some of the strongest people are OGs in the game. First, it was Heron, though. You know,
Okay.
so for my father's generation, it was at Heron, and Heron messed up some of the strongest guys in the neighborhood. I mean, some of the sharpest guys. Even Huey P. Newton. Even the Black Panthers and them out there. They started after all that good stuff they was doing. They got into the drugs and kind of you know, and a lot of times the system influences that. They don't want to provide that, and they slide somebody in there on you. They get you when you get hooked on that heroin. You, it's no coming back. Almost, it's no coming back from that. My pops and all that stuff had got on it. They were soldiers in the game. They was out there. Driving. They had Cadillac crews. All them riding Cadillacs and Chevys. Everybody looking good, fly, wearing suits and all that stuff back in the days. But once that heroin hit, man, it was all bad. It just took that whole community, that older generation community out. You know what I'm saying? So it was no leadership.
Mm,
There was no leadership, and then that crack era hit. And that was in the '80s, and
yeah,
that was my era. You know what I'm saying? '80s, '90s is when that crack era hit, and there was a lot of people who was getting money. I was one of them. Um, Unfortunately, had to get it that way. And I don't condone that, what I'm saying? Because it's not the way, you know what I mean? Because all it's going to do is lead you to the penitentiary or dead, or you're gonna see a whole lot of your homies get killed if you come through it and survive through that. What I'm saying? You're going to see a lot of death. So I wouldn't condone that lifestyle. But it was a part of the lifestyle that um, corrupted our communities, you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
And it was I hate being a part of that, you know what I'm saying? So I try my best today to steer people away from that. I feel like I could be the best teacher to let you know, because I know from experience and the consequences. I never used any drugs, um, but that don't make it no better that I was an addict to the money, you know what I'm saying?
mm-hmm,
So I would today use my platform to steer the youngsters away and show them a better way, because today I'm a heat and air conditioning contractor as well. So I
okay,
provide jobs, you know what I mean? Um, and I got a clothing line, Supreme Evolution Clothing. Supreme Evolution is all about evolving to the greatest you, coming from that era to evolve to a better part of you, you know what I'm saying? Through
yeah,
resources, through different ways um of getting some money, you know what I mean? It don't have to be out there in them streets. It don't have to be bipping. It don't have to be selling drugs. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not the way. It's gonna just lead you to death. That's gonna lead you to incarceration, and it's a repeated cycle. You know what I mean? Um,
yeah,
yeah, because you got the youngsters that's gonna follow the people like you, who think that you're on top. You're doing because you're looking good. You got these nice cars. You got these things, and it's really an illusion. You know what I mean? So you pretty much you fall into it's a trap. You fall
mm-hmm,
into the trap. I guess
yeah,
that's why they call them trap houses these days. You know what I mean? Because it's a trap.
it
You don't
definitely
want to
is.
fall in. You don't want to be a victim falling into that kind of trap. You know what I'm saying?
For sure, for sure. Now, with you, jumping off the porch and everything at a young age, did you have both parents in your household at the time? And what did they, did they know that you was jumping off the porch like that?
Well, we kept that a secret. Yeah, I kept it a secret. I hid it from my parents. And as far as having both parents in the household, I had them until I was 12.
Okay.
At 12 years old, my parents broke up. You know what I'm saying? So I stayed with my mom. Um, but you know, and it was rough. Single parent home. She doing the best she can, trying to take care of a young boy. You know what I mean? She trying to, discipline me as a mother and a father at the same time. Got my ass whooped hella times. And I advise, you know, ass whoopers is still necessary, even though,
Damn right.
even
Yeah.
though that the kids feel like, oh, kids are soft these days. They call the police. My mom used to be like, she used to be like, you call the police, I'm gonna whoop your ass even more. You know what I mean? So
Yeah. I'm gonna whoop your ass when they get here. I'm still gonna whoop your
yeah, I'm
ass.
gonna
Yeah,
still
that's how
whoop
my
your
mom
ass.
is.
Yeah, so you gotta accept that. You know what I'm saying? Because if you out there living foul, somebody gotta whoop your ass. If your parents don't whoop your ass, the police will.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm
For sure.
saying? So you got to go ahead and suck that up when you're out there doing bad. Your mom just trying to keep you out of harm's way. You know, it's like telling a child, "Hey, it's fire right there. Don't put your hands in the fire, right?"
Mm-hmm.
But your dumb ass go put your hand in the fire and learn that way. You know what I mean?
Right.
So she try to guide you the right way the best she can, and we end up just being hard heads, and have to go put our hand in the fire and learn the hard way, you know.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I had both to 12 years old and they separated. Um, and then when I jumped off the porch, it was a secret. My mother, she wasn't allowing it. I come up off of Third Street over at Hunters Point.
Okay.
So Third Street used to be like 200-300 deep. Just every day, everybody out there grinding. You go out to Jolie Gym, and it's 100 people every day up in that thing. You know what I'm saying? I mean, in the bleachers, everybody smoking weed. They playing basketball. Some real hard hoopers, some real tough hoopers out there too. They could have went to the league, but we used to go out there and watch them hoop. We making transactions in Jolie Gym, getting to the bag. You know what I'm saying? Dice games. You know what I'm saying? You seeing fights every day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, it was rough. It was rough times. You go to each corner, and it's a hunt. I say it's about 20 people on that corner. I mean, within a 3 mile, 2 mile radius, even within the mile. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you
Yeah.
seeing packed, and it was all Hunters Point. It's
Mm.
like everybody from Oakdale, Harbor Road, Valencia, not Valencia, but Garlington, West Point. Everybody came to Third Street, and then they broke that up. They broke that up. See, that was the plan, though. When they broke that up, they broke it off into sections. You know what I'm saying? So when
Yeah.
they broke that off into sections, now everybody claiming their own district. Everybody claiming a district. You know what I'm saying? I'm from West Point. I'm from Harbor Road. I'm from this. I'm from that. You know what I'm saying? And that right there made them clash. You know what I'm saying? Now they tripping.
Mm-hmm.
And we all Hunters Point. Kirkwood.
Yeah.
Everybody now is clicking up and going against each other. And that was the plan to set that separation caused chaos in the neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? It
And
was a
that
lot of it was a
yeah, that
lot
was
of it was a lot of unfortunate deaths that came behind that, man. Rest in peace to all those cats, man. It was just a
the
bad era.
program though. That's how they program it though. To make us kill each other.
That's what they did, man. And people don't realize that. You know what I'm saying? They don't realize that it's always programmed and set up and designed for it to be that way. It was too powerful with all of us together on Third Street. So they couldn't control all that. You know what I'm saying? So everybody was getting money.
Yeah.
I was in that era when I was 15 years old. I was running up the cars, putting bags of weed in the car back in the day. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
In that era, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Um, Selling weed on the block, until I graduated from the block. But it was just that, you got to to last this long, you have to keep your. I did my time behind it too. I ended up getting 6 years in San Quentin Penitentiary. Uh,
Damn.
yeah, I ended up doing 6 years in San Quentin behind that lifestyle.
Yeah, I heard Tupac speak about San Quentin. What was that like being in San Quentin?
Oh man, San Quentin, man, they was it's stabbings up in there. It's the Mexicans really too. Them the Mexicans, them boys they be going at it at each other. We was always on lockdown because of the Mexicans. Northern San,
Mm,
you know, Nathaniel Serranos, you know, they had Crips and Bloods up there, but we was 4 and 5. You know what I mean? 4
okay.
and 5, we was like the majority of them when it come down to San Quentin. They had BGF up there. You know what I'm saying? And it was rough, but you have to make it through. You have to stay solid, man. You
Yeah.
stay solid. You know what I'm saying? You keep you keep your nose out of people's business. You'll make it through there, man. Hold your own. You'll make it through
For
there.
sure. Did you
But
read any books while you was incarcerated?
yeah, we used to read those Donald Goins books, man. Hey, Donald Goins, Iceberg Slim. So we kept with. It's like you still keeping a street mentality. We talking about pimps and hustlers still end up in there, man. But that's when I first started writing. Though that's when I
Okay.
first started writing with the music because I had to find a way out. You know what I'm saying? I had to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? Um, I was studying to get my uh, diploma when I was in there, so that's what I was reading, and I ended up graduating and getting my diploma before I left up out of there. Yeah,
Mm,
so that part was a blessing, and then I learned how to do some videographer work, which I never
mhm.
took to the streets with me. I learned editing and all that kind of stuff. I never took that to the streets with me though.
Yeah.
But
Man, that's a major key to this game, though. You might could use that
yeah,
for sure, for sure. So when you found your niche to do music in the penitentiary, or before nobody ever came to you and was talking about hip hop, or it was just the penitentiary that drove you to the music world.
well, in the penitentiary, they a lot of people used to come around freestyling. I was in love with hip hop before jail,
Yeah,
and then they used to come through freestyling, and I used to like some of that stuff, and then RBL, my folks, um, and Budweiser too. They end up getting a tape. They end up putting the tape out. I was like, oh man, they sound good. You know what I mean? And these just
yeah,
guys I know. So I was pretty pumped when I heard guys like that. You know what I'm saying? I heard Sibo. But
yeah.
by RBL
Black
now.
People. Shout out RBL Posse, Black C now. Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, yeah. When Sibo came, I was like, bald head nut. He was, man. That dude was like the truth to me when I was up in there. It was like inspiration. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Working out. You know what I'm saying, off that Sibo. you know, uh, E40 and the Click and them came out. You know what I'm saying, back then.
yeah.
Shout out to D Shot and Be Legit and E40. You know what I mean?
Nutty Nut them. Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, Sally Sale. Mac
Yeah,
Mall.
yeah, damn right. It's going down tonight. That's my
Yeah,
shit.
yeah.
For real.
Yeah. So them those was my inspiration, as far as working out, my workout inspiration, my motivation. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you said you got big in there, man. What you say you was bench pressing like 400, right? 500?
Nah. I hit like 365. When I got home, I was hitting like 385. You know what I'm saying? When I got home, I was stronger. But when I was up in there, we had a crew, uh, a junkyard crew. My celly was hitting 500.
Okay, that's what you said. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, celly was hitting 500. Um, then my other guy, Macway, was hitting 400. We had another guy, James Eddie, you know what I'm saying? He was hitting like 350, 365. And then
Mm.
I was 300. I was hitting six wheels. I mean,
Man, that shit still
quotas.
crazy. 300, that shit crazy. That's
Yeah,
still crazy,
I was
man.
hitting six quotas on each side. So I was 20 years old.
Man, that's crazy, man.
I was 20 years old. But when I got home, got stronger and was hitting like 385,
Yeah, man, that's wild. On to the next question, man. Who is Herm Lewis, and can you talk about signing to Black Power Productions?
Yeah, so when I got out, um, before I left, I had a child by his sister. Um,
Okay.
and when I got out, you know what I'm saying, I had a whole lot of love. Forte, um, Forte was out there doing his thing.
Shout
And
out Forte, man. He doing better too. I heard he been
yeah,
doing good.
yeah, that's my guy right there. And
Yeah.
I had told Herm that I was doing some writing when I was up in there. And Herm was like, "Hey, man, he had just put out a tape, with RBL, JT the Bigger Figure, Fly Nate the Bankster. He had some, 11-5. I mean, he had a lot of good, he had some good artists on that. The first album ended up, doing well,
Mhm.
and making his second album, Still Trying to Survive in the Ghetto. And he hollered at me, say, "Hey, man, you still writing, still doing your thing?" I'm like, "Yeah, had some things in the cuts I was working on." And he put me on, you know what I'm saying? And I did City of Players. City of Players hitting up. That's the first song I ever really recorded. That's the first song I ever recorded. The first full song I ever wrote, because I wasn't used to writing 16 bars. But I learned how to write 16 bars, 3/16s. Nowadays, you ain't got to do 3/16s, but um, and then um, and then I recorded this song and it went to the radio, City of Players. They
Yeah.
Camiel. Um, we shot a video. They used to play the video on CMC, so that got me pumped. I was pumped. You know what I mean? I'm riding with my lady, and they play my song. That was, I was motivation to keep going.
Damn right.
So yeah, I was pumped.
For sure.
Aaron put me on though.
Shout out Hearn, for sure. All right, so on to the next question. Sticking to the Script was a classic album. What was your message to the people at that time?
Well, whatever grind you doing, whatever hustle you got, I don't care if it's a job, just stick to the script and stay stuck to that grind, stay consistent, and you will achieve things in life. You know what I mean? Um, that's how I took it back then. It was a wild time too for me because I was in the streets with it. You know what I'm saying? So I was still in the streets. I was telling some of my past stories. I was telling a lot of stuff that I seen, you know, some things that I didn't go through, but I seen people go through, so I was able to share
Yeah,
that. You know what I'm saying?
the
Uh,
voice for the people or the ghetto. Yeah.
yeah,
For
yeah. A lot of the stuff that I had went through. Um, so it was life experience. That I seen on the streets are done. You know what I'm saying? Um, just telling you a story of where my about my neighborhood.
yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. At what time did you meet Black C and the RBL posse?
Oh, I met Black Seed and them. Like I said before, I went to the pen. I was in the '80s.
Okay, yeah, okay.
So Black, they was some young hustlers out there getting to the bag, um, cool youngsters, you know what I mean? I always had love, for them youngsters, man. Him and the whole Harbor Road, and I met him, yes, back in the '80s.
Okay, for
Yeah,
sure. And when you met him, did y'all ever, speak about music back then, or was it just more like, y'all was running across each other in the streets and shit?
yeah, we was more of a, it was a hustle thing. It wasn't before I went to the pen. It was hustle thing.
Yeah,
It wasn't even about no music, especially for me. They was doing some music, but for me, I was in the streets. I was a hustling in the streets, so
yeah,
it wasn't about music for me. Back in the days, though, I used to think rappers were squares.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Until I heard, until I heard, till I heard Too Short. Till I heard N.W.A. Till I
yeah,
heard Richie Rich. You know what I'm saying, out of Oakland.
yeah, yeah, for
When I
sure.
seen him, I seen him go to jail on the news, and I was like, oh. And, these some of these guys is really out here, doing. They out here really on the streets like me. They
Yeah,
talking about the stuff I'm out here doing. I'm like,
mm,
they speaking about my lifestyle. You know what I'm saying?
for
So
sure.
when I heard guys like that, Sibo, cooking birds in the kitchen, palms itching. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? When I heard shit
Uh-huh.
like that, I was like, oh boy, let me
Yeah.
go put some of these stories together. You know what I'm saying? I got a story to tell.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm
For,
saying? Coming from somebody who really was out there doing it. You know?
yeah. Now
Yeah.
you say you was out there doing your thing, man. Did you ever get a chance? Did you touch a brick before?
Oh yeah, plenty of those.
Yeah,
Plenty of those. Man, plenty of those. I mean, at a time. You know what I'm saying? You know,
man.
getting like three, four, five and things. You know what I'm saying? I was nothing but 20 years old. You know what I mean?
Touch a
19,
brick. That's crazy, man.
at 18 years old, I was getting a few of them. You know.
Yeah, for sure.
And like I say, I'm not bragging about it or
Oh,
condone
you
it.
telling your story though. This is
Yeah,
your
I'm
story,
telling my
man.
story, you know what I'm saying? So understand that, you know, I don't condone it, but hey, I've been there, man. I've done that. And that's why, you know, in my music, I tell you about some of that story that I've been there and I've done that. But here, let's go this route though, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Let's change the narrative, you know. And I'm here to change the narrative. I'm here to let you know that I've been there and I've done that. And if I could change, you can too. You know what I'm
that's
saying?
real.
That's where I'm at with it. If I can change, you can too, because I've been in the knee deep shit of that game. You know what I'm saying?
For sure. For
You
sure.
know,
Yeah. Did you ever meet Tupac in the Bay Area?
I didn't meet him in the Bay, but I met him at the Soul Train Awards.
Okay. Can
Yeah,
you
back
speak
in the
about that?
yeah at the Soul Train Awards, we had went down there like 100 deep. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We were 100 deep, and that's when he had the black Rolls Royce, the black Bentley. He had the Bentley coupe, and
Welcome to When I Fell in Love with Hip Hop. We live. Primo, Bay Area legend, man. Y'all tap in, man. This interview crazy, man. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Will help with the algorithm. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna keep it going, man. Crazy more questions coming up. For sure, for sure. Y'all, everybody tell me where y'all from in this live. I need everybody to tap in and tell me where y'all from, man. This is a crazy interview, man. This is a real life interview, man, with the Bay Area legend, man. Primo, man. For sure. He'll be back in 2 seconds. We finna get the interview back going, y'all. Everybody hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. It helps with the algorithm. You know what I'm saying? This keeps everything going the right way. So with that being said, everybody hit that like button. It don't cost nothing to hit that like button. I am Israel Picasso from When I Fell in Love with Hip Hop. I interview celebrities all over the world. I'm tapping in. I'm out of St. Louis, Missouri. So if y'all see this interview, y'all see me on here, go tell a friend to tell a friend. Israel Picasso from When I Fell in Love with Hip Hop. We live right now, man. This is what it is, man. It's real hip hop stories. This ain't no fake shit. We ain't doing no scripted. This is all real stories, man, from hip hop. Back in the day, we bringing the past to the future, man. So with that being said, man, this is when I fell in love with hip hop, man. Give me 2 seconds, y'all. We back on.
yo yo,
Yeah. We back. We back. When I with hip hop, yeah. You say you met Tupac in the Bay, though, huh? I
I,
mean, no, you met him at the Soul Train Awards.
yeah, out in L.A. Yeah,
Yeah.
out in
Okay.
L.A. Yeah, Tupac man was a cool brother, man. He was wild though. You know what I'm saying? You know, I knew a lot of guys who knew him when he stayed over in Marin City.
Yeah.
He stayed over in Marin. So I knew,
Okay.
you know, a lot of guys who used to rock with him back then, you know, and then, you know, he went from Marin to Oakland. But we met him at, I met him at the Soul Train Awards. And like I say, we went down there, Frisco, Hunters Point, had went down there 100 deep. Oh yeah, it was Hunters Point. It was some Fillmore guys too that was with us too.
Okay.
Double Rock, Hunters Point, Fillmore. Creature Man, that was one of them. He was with us out of Fillmore. But we went down there, man. Everybody guys had on black tuxedos with red bow ties. I didn't have a black tuxedo, but the rest of the fellas did. Me, my boy Herman, Larry June, uh, had went, and my folks T Lo. So it was and T Lo, and it was Big A, it was Fly and Silk Selfs. We all went down there in the Benzes, and we went like three cars deep. Went down there. We had some fun, man. We had a lot of fun down there, man. But I met Tupac down there. Other than that, I didn't see, had that much communication with Pac.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he was cool. I met him
Okay.
down there. Cool brother, man. It was
Yeah.
wild.
Rest up,
It was
Tupac. Yeah.
wild too. We had a wild time down there, man. When we went down there at Soul Train Awards, man, the Crips and Bloods got into it, and I was with my folks, Big A, and Big A was with Suge Knight. So
Free Suge Knight.
we got together after one of the parties before the Soul Train Awards, and my homie Big A got into it with one of the Crips, and that shit was crazy, man. Motherfuckers was shooting. Man, we had to hit the ground. Man, that shit was wild. And the motherfucker, they had the helicopters out. They was already doing some. The helicopters was already out down the street because niggas was fighting down there down the street.
Yeah.
So we was in the gas station. We was in the gas station, and my folks went to the street, got into it with this dude. He was riding with Suge. Everybody hit the ground because he had talked to some youngsters. Some youngsters came around the block, and they was like, "This Crip, you know what it is?" And they pulled out and started. Blah, 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 they started. Man, everybody hit the ground for you know it. It was a bunch of bloods because Suge was with all the bloods.
Right. Right.
They jumped in the car, man, chasing. All you heard was all you heard was they was lighting it up. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
I was like, man, I ain't come out here for all this, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm
For
saying? But
sure.
it went down, boy. It went down, man. And I was like, man, that shit is crazy, man. But hey, it's a real gang life out in LA, man. If you go
Yeah.
out there, you gotta be with that shit. You
Man, I believe you, man. Shout out
get
all
with it,
my
I
LA
guess.
homeboys, man. Everybody in LA. Shout out LA.
Yeah,
For
shout
sure.
out to LA, man. It's some serious bangers out there, man. Ain't nothing but respect for them, man. But whoo,
Yeah.
that shit was wild.
Yeah.
In Frisco, we on gangbang.
I'm
You know
here.
what I'm
I'm
saying?
here.
Uh, nigga set trip. They claim sets.
Right. 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 Neighborhoods and shit.
Fillmore, Hunters Point, Sunnydale. You know what I'm saying? You know, Fletcher Guards. They claim sets. So they ain't really doing no gang banging. Police
Mhm.
create gangs, man.
Yeah. Yeah. That's real.
Yeah,
Well, you got to think they got red and blue lights.
and they got red and blue for Democrat and Republic too.
Come on now. For
Yeah,
real.
so which I don't get involved with none of that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yeah. So they create gangs, man. Brothers be um just holding down their district. You know,
Hmm.
they hold down their neighborhood. Making sure motherfuckers don't come out there with the bullshit in their neighborhood. If somebody gonna be up there getting some money, they gonna be the ones getting some money. Can't nobody come out there from a different neighborhood and jump out and get some money on their block type shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You, know, and you ain't gonna come to the neighborhood and disrespect our elders or our children. You know what
Hmm.
I'm saying? So you want to make sure we like in the neighborhoods when you got youngsters and you see that they got talent, you try to keep them off the block. You give them a few dollars, let them go play their basketball, let them go do their boxing. Say, man, this ain't for you, man. So you give them a few dollars so they don't have to be on the block. You know, go
For
ahead
sure.
and go ahead and do what you supposed to do out here to achieve something greater than what we out here doing out here. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
You know, we try to back then we would, protect the kids, you know what I'm saying, protect the elders, you know what I'm saying?
For sure, for sure. With
Yeah.
that being said, man, how do you feel about rappers like Snoop Dogg saying his style came from the Bay Area, being that Tupac brought that style to Death Row Records?
It's true. And I respect the game, you know what I'm saying? Because Snoop come from a gang banging background. You
Hmm.
know, he got his swag from the Bay Area, from Tupac, style of back then, his style of dressing, putting on a suit, showing some the ultimate swag. Cause Bay Cats got swag, man. We know how to put it on, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
y'all be putting that shit on. Okay.
yeah, got the gift of gab, you know what I'm saying? Got the swag, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of slang, and all that stuff come from the Bay Area, you know what I'm saying? And LA pick it up, they got a bigger platform to express the swag in the game that they come up to the Bay Area to get. You know what I'm saying? Frisco, Oakland,
Hmm.
Vallejo. You know what I mean? So Frisco really, from Hunters Point to Fillmore, uh, it's a lot of because we got a lot of pimp game. You know what I mean? We got a lot of hustle game. You
Yeah,
know, and that's where a lot of it come from. We dress to impress. We fly, coordinate. You know what I'm saying? And then that should be going everywhere. And you go out there and you see St. Louis, you go out there and see them like, oh man, what I'm saying? I see a lot of people, you go other places and they look bait on the bait, touch over there and come with the swag. It
damn
spread like
right.
wildfire. You know what I'm saying?
For
And,
sure. Yeah,
and,
yeah. It's much love to the Bay from St. Louis. For
yeah,
sure.
and much love and respect to the guys who pick it up and admire it. You know what I'm saying? Because what we do is we connect game. Well, that's all we doing is connecting game. Because we go out there, they pick up swag from us, we pick up swag from them.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So we connect that game and add it to the culture.
Yeah.
Because it's all about the culture. I do this for the culture. I do it for Frisco, and then I connect game with different places like different states and connect with the culture, man. I do this for the culture, man. It ain't about just one section of people and that's it. That's all. No, man. We got to grow.
Yeah.
The only way
That's
to
real.
grow is connecting game. You know,
For sure. For sure. On to the next question, man. What's your take on today's era of hip hop?
man. I like a lot of it, and I don't like a lot of it. I don't like the drill music. You know what I'm saying? Because it just add on to the death and killing of our youngsters, man, our youth, man. I don't like that you talk about killing or you talk about killing somebody that you killed in your music. That's just crazy to me. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
that shit is. Yeah.
That's
And
crazy.
then turn around getting indicted for murder.
Yeah.
Shit.
So you going and expressing your murders and going to that just don't make no sense to me. I mean, but hey, that's what y'all want to do. Your
Your
business, but
business, but
I don't like
I
that.
don't like that.
Yeah, that shit
Um,
crazy.
I
I
like
like,
uh
uh,
let's see,
let's see,
the people like
the people like
Leaf
believe,
um,
um,
Future.
future.
I love
I
Future.
love future.
Uh,
Yeah.
Uh,
Larry June.
Larry June
He got a
got a
Frisco,
Frisco,
so he's
so
one of the
he's one of the
really
really
big impact
big impact
in the
music
game.
game. He's
Turned it
turned it
to a
to a
positive
positive
thing.
thing.
He
You know, yeah,
represents
represent
orange.
one,
You know,
you know,
healthy,
healthy,
um,
uh, um,
still show you that
still
you
say that you
speak positive
speak positive
about
about
get credit
get credit for
and still
and
rap
still right
that you see
that you see
Ferraris,
Ferraris,
great bags
great bags
through
through
positivity.
positive.
Yeah.
So
So
inspiration for a lot
it's
of
a lot,
and
and
who else?
who else?
I got to give a
I
shout
got to give a shout out.
out. Yeah,
Yeah,
been in the
been in
game
the game while
deep
deep,
and still got.
still,
So I got to
I got
um,
to
keep the sneak.
keep the
My guy
snake. My guy
sneak is
sneak
still
is
cracking.
still cracking.
Um,
Um,
you say
you say
the female, Miss Lotto.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she hold it. Her and Megan. It's a few chicks holding it down.
Yeah.
Yeah. Doing something a little too far, you know. But hey, getting them to the back, they can change the name. Can go ahead and change. But I don't knock them. You know what I'm saying? I don't knock the hustle. Only the drill ain't
For sure.
But the ladies doing the thing. They the ones who really on top.
For sure. Hey, I appreciate everybody coming on the live. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. We help with the algorithm. We're gonna be right back. We got a little choppy coming. I'm gonna come right back. 2 seconds.